subject of building institutions. You define institutions in a particular way. But very often in the newspaper, people will say the democratic institutions are being enhanced or damaged, as the case may be. And we use the word institution in connection with the music sabhas and uh, management colleges and engineering colleges. So I want to first spend some time addressing what does institution mean and what does institution building mean. I've contracted it to IB. I know it sounds like Intelligence Bureau, but in the interest of using shorter forms, I keep saying IB. Don't mistake me for the other instrument that is used by governments. And why is it important for us to think about this subject of institution building? That's the first question. So there are only three questions I'm going to answer. The second one is, what do institution builders do? How do they build institutions? And what can we learn from them? And the third subject is a company or an institution, assuming that we can make the discrimination, like a human being? Does it seek long life? So those are the three questions I'm going to answer, and that's why I chose the title Institution Building and Corporate Ayurveda. If I stopped people on the road and said, what does an institution conjure up in your mind? The answer that I have received is, the Red Fort is an institution. If you build a bungalow in golf links in Delhi, that's not an institution. Taj Mahal is an institution, but if you go to the Kabristan, it's not an institution. VT station is an institution, but Nasik station is a railway station. And this is good common sense. That's why I asked ordinary people. And the summary of it is that when you say the word institution to most people, it would mean something that's grand, it's awesome, it's long living. And there's nothing wrong with the other things, but they are not grand, awesome, and necessarily long living. So there's a huge difference in our minds between institution and what is not an institution. What is not an institution is not a bad thing. Most of us don't live in institutions, not even a mental institution, not yet. So we live in ordinary houses, right? But none of us can say that it's a big institution. So why should we bother about this definition? Why should it engage our attention? Is it a pedantic? And you see, after 50 years of my career, when business is being bashed every morning, very often with good reason, by the way, for the various things that have happened, I ask myself, should one feel proud of having had a career of 50 years in business? Because if you meet a person who's an NGO, they think you're some sort of a crook. They look at you like that. Uh, and so on with various other sections of society. Even in your own family, you'll have a brother or sister-in-law, depending on their background, who'll say you companies are rapacious people. You're interested only in profit. So if you look at an institution, there are three types of players. If you look at a society, there are three types of players. There are those who defend, there are those who advance, and there are those who earn, so that you can defend and advance. What does defend mean? If you join the army, you join the police, you're defending the nation or people's rights or whatever. Governments, bureaucrats also defend. It's like being halfback in football. You're not a goal scorer. Once in a while, you may get the ball to kick, but the center forward is the one who does that. Then there are those who advance society: teachers, scientists, artists, painters. They improve the cultural and intellectual quality of what's happening in people's minds. But business is the one that earns. If business cannot earn, then you can't have an army that defends or teachers who advance. Sorry? And therefore, while you may, in commenting about these things, crack a joke, when people say that if देश की सेवा करो, come and join IAS or army, I said मैंने कुछ कम देश की सेवा नहीं की है. By joining a company where I have played a small role, it's the company that has done it, setting up new factories, opening new branches, creating new jobs, opening new avenues of business. We have created jobs. And if we don't create jobs and generate wealth, pay the taxes, then you won't have an army and you won't have teachers. So, I therefore want to restore, for the purpose of today's talk, and I won't have difficulty selling the idea to this crowd, that business is also on a pedestal. And I feel I have been no less a Desh Sevak as compared to somebody else. And you may argue that one Desh Sevak is better than another, that's a personal opinion.